Paul, always good to see you. A couple of weeks out from the start of pre-season, feels as good a time as any to catch up. How busy are you at the moment? What do your days look like?
Yeah, it's quite busy, thanks, by the way. And by the way, I don't normally come around dressed in this. It's just the fact I've been in the gym before this interview. I don't randomly put it on for every interview. Yeah, busy at the moment, constantly on the phone, text, as every manager is. And I appreciate from a fan's point of view, it's a bit, well, what's happening? It doesn't look much. Today, obviously doing this with you, then I'm going to go see a member of staff who isn't well. Then I've got a FaceTime with a attacking player. Then I've got a meeting with the whole recruitment team to go through our targets and where we're at with them, because it changes quite a lot. Then I've got a meet a player, another FaceTime of another attacking player. Then I'll see the owner on the way home, and then get home tonight, and then the whole sort of thing starts again tomorrow. So it's a constant, constant thing. Then obviously other things are going on with if potential offers come in for our players and where we're at with other players, and so it's a constant thing, and it feels like we're really close with a few. And I wish that people who tune into this think, oh my God, the manager's going to say, da-nah, but I've already been told off camera I can't. So, but we're very close to announcing a few signings.
I will quiz you maybe a little bit more on those in a moment or two, but a departure to mention, and it's only right that we do talk about David McGoldrick, who's made the decision to rejoin his boyhood club in Notts County. Of course, you're sorry to see him go.
Yeah, of course I'm sorry to see him go. Look, since January, I've been trying to encourage him to sign a contract, and he'll tell you this. I've had many conversations with him. He always said he just wanted to get to the summer and see where he's at. At one stage, I wasn't even sure if he was going to play on. He had an amazing season with us, scored, I think, prior to us, the most he'd scored is 14-15, so he had an amazing season. I wanted to keep him. I met him at the training ground. We had a conversation for about 3 hours, about 2-3 weeks ago now, and then he still wanted some more time to think about it, so we had to put a deadline to it. It couldn't keep dragging out for either team, in fairness, and it wasn't a financial thing. It was a spiritual thing, really, from his point of view. He wanted to play for his boyhood club, and, obviously Derby fans who are watching this, if you were now playing for Bristol City and Derby came in for you, you'd want to go and play for Derby. And it was the same for Didsy. Didsy wanted to always wanted to end his career at Notts County and wanted to play there while he still had something left. Like, he could have played another year, maybe another 2 years here, possibly. But then if he'd have still had the opportunity to go to Notts County, it wouldn't have been fair on him or what he wanted to do at that club. So, with a massive heavy heart, he's left. And he'll be missed. But I also respect the fact that footballers get accused all the time of chasing the money and all that. That hasn't been the case. It wasn't an easy decision for him, and he has to live his life. He has to live what's best for him, best for his family, and I'm really pleased for him. I am, sincerely, really chuffed for him. I said I'll go and watch him whenever I can, so if they get a Friday night game, I'll go and watch and support him. He's been brilliant at this club. He'll always be a big part of the fabric of, like, the new Derby, so to speak. And we'll always keep in contact. So the lads will miss him, no doubt. But it's about, building a new team with new players and having a right go this year. So, I wish him all the very, very best.
You mentioned already that the conversations, and it sounds like you're having lots of conversations with lots of players. How much are you sort of trying to gauge their desire and their motivations for wanting to join Derby when you're having these conversations with them?
Yeah, I am probing a little bit. I mean, the thing is, it's quite an easy club to sign players at. You'd be surprised to know, in this league. So, but we're trying to sign players that don't want to play in this league, if that makes sense. We need the ones that, in my opinion, the ones who can play in the league above, the ones who've got a bit of experience, a bit of hair on their back. Ideally, the certain age group I want to go for. But so. It's easy, you bring someone around here like today, if the groundsmen were here, they go crazy, us being on these training pitches, obviously. But the pitches are in amazing order, the training ground, you 30,000 people watching you every week, with a good team, a good skeleton of a team already. So it's not a difficult sell. So what we have to try and do is filter out, not every signing is going to be bang on the money, I know that, but you've just got to try and filter the ones out, really. So I want people who are going to make massive sacrifices and personal sacrifice as well, but are just fully determined for success, and they are a unique set. Loads of people can play football. I could sign 5 strikers tomorrow if I wanted to, so to speak, but you've just got to try and get the perfect fit. So when we speak to them, we show them things, how we think they can improve, because in fairness, if you're playing in League 3, you haven't got everything sussed. So we need players who are prepared to learn. We need players who believe in the team more than themselves, which is so difficult because it is an individual sport within a team sport. So it is very difficult. They've got to be selfless, but they've got to really put themselves out there, I think. So it is not a difficult type. I don't mean it like that, but it is easy to sign players. I could have signed 8 players already who could have potentially improved our squad, but it's about getting the very best ones you can. So realistically, we might get 3 or 4 in. I reckon we'll probably get, probably 5 in maybe before the start of pre-season potentially, which will bolster our numbers and improve our team. And then it's about, adding as pre-season goes on. But ideally, I'd get them all in. But it is about getting to know them. It is about them getting to know me. Because in fairness, if they don't buy into how I see football and how I want to train and live and play and behave, then it just isn't going to work. So I need them to see the honest side of me, which they'll always see, but before they join. And similarly with them, I've met a few players now, and generally speaking, I've liked most of them. And then if I see little elements, I think, that could grow into something I don't like. So yes, there's loads going on, and it's just about getting the right player at the right price for us.
Derby seem to get linked with everyone, and it's always been that way. Do you see things out there in the media or on social media and think, where on earth has that come from?
Yes and no. So I've had the joy of not working where I live, which is a joy. So I don't have people stop me in Tesco's anymore and say, is it true, which is good. But I don't follow anything on Twitter or on Instagram or anything. So I'm sort of immune to all of that, which is good for me. It gives me a really good, clean headspace. I don't need to see what everyone's thinking. I appreciate we get linked to everyone. I understand why that is the case, because agents want you to think that their players linked to us, because then other teams in the league or above or below, respectfully, might think, if Derby are in for him, he must have something. So yeah, I know we get linked to loads of players, but I understand why. We're a big club in this league. We've got to try and hunt down the 3 teams who finished above us last year, who'll all probably come back stronger. That's our first aim, and then just to push for the top 2. So players hopefully want to be part of that, and agents are trying to push players here, but also trying to increase their media coverage possibly. So if you've read names who we're linked to, I reckon 20% might be true, but even them 20%, I haven't signed anyone yet, so 0 is possibly true.
But I imagine there's levels to it, right? Because you probably watch hundreds of players, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be doing the job properly. But there's a difference between watching a player and being genuinely interested in a player.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, if you now said to me if you named 10 players that I knew, by the way, said, what do you think? I went, yeah, what a good player he is. Well, he's on a free. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he's possibly not for me at this club, but very good player. Wish him all the best with his career. Please send him my best. Doesn't mean I don't rate him. Just doesn't mean at this moment in time they're not on my list. And some players are on my list, but might be 10th, which sounds ridiculous now, thinking 10th. But if I need a 3rd choice striker in a month's time, then he might be on my list. But I'm never going to say to you, he is on my list and I'm trying to sign him, because then if he goes and signs for Portsmouth, the fans are going to have a meltdown going, well, what's going on? Can we not afford these players? Can the manager not sell the club? So you are constantly respectful of loads of different players, and the differences between the players sometimes are marginal. So, at the moment there's this massive drive on stats for players. I'm not overly keen, but it's a good objective data. But, his top speed is 8.2, his is 8.3. You're like, oh my God, what a difference that makes. He covers this, he has this amount of shots. Yeah, but he plays in a team that does a counter press, or he plays in a team that never has the ball. We've got to try and sign players that are good people, and I get hammered for saying that. They've got to be good people. If they want to come and work at this great club, they've got to be good people. They have to be, and to work for us and the way we are, they have to be. They have to be good footballers, good athletes, and they have to buy into the way we play, the way we press, the energy I want from the team. They have to buy into all that. And, they also, and this is different to a lot of other teams in our league, they have to be able to play in front of 30,000 people. Now, that might sound like, well, it's the same sport. Like, if you're used to playing in front of 5,000 every week and you're the big fish in a small pond, can you do it in front of 30,000? And that's why you know, we get linked to loads of players, but we have to try and get them right, because once you sign them on a 2 or 3 year deal and you don't get it right, you're causing yourself problems. And we won't run a big squad. We might have 20, 22 players. So we have to try and get everything right. So I understand why we get linked to loads of players. I understand why it's frustrating for fans why we don't sign players. But in fairness, what I would say, if we sign 7 or 8 players today, well, like, what are you going to do for the next few weeks? What are you going to talk about? You might as well enjoy the whole off-season, pre-season, holding the scarf above their head on nice, equidistantly spaced signings. That's what Tom says, by the way. That was Tom, 2023.
I'll ask you about pre-season in a moment or two, but there's been a couple of changes. Ooh. A notable change on the footballing staff side. Matt Hale's coming as academy manager, working with Mark Thomas, who's in situ, of course, in recruitment. Are things sort of settled and sorted now from a staffing perspective?
I think so. I mean, people are looking scared.
Yeah, we're always nervous.
You know, there's certain departments we haven't meddled with yet. Oh, your department's done well, hasn't it? Yeah, I think everything's coming into place. You know, there's obviously a change true with the academy, and like, obviously sorry to see Was go. I got on really well with Was, so and I'm still in contact with him now, so as I will always be. So it's like a new era, possibly. You know, everything's sort of been shaken up with the recruitment. I think the recruitment's gonna, you know, hopefully we'll get everything in place for this window. You know, maybe we might be more efficient next window, but we shouldn't have any excuses. I don't mean it like that. And there's always changes with football staff all the time. You know, I don't know, someone could be doing this interview for me in 2 weeks' time. That's how football is. So it's constantly moving. It's just about getting the best people, the best fit of this club. And at the moment, it feels like we've got really good people pushing in the direction, because we've all got to be better next year to have success. You lot have got to be better. I have, the players have, the chef has, the kit man has, everything. We've just got to try and improve incrementally to get where we want to be. So there's always going to be staff changes for the right reasons, hopefully, and you know, hopefully the academy can keep improving.
Let's finish on pre-season then.
Yeah.
I've heard whispers and murmurs and giggles from you when it comes to pre-season and the plans. I'm sure you won't want to give it all away, but are you excited to get the players back and get them working?
Yeah, I mean, you can interview these. Obviously you will when they come back. They'll tell you that most of them have been pestered by me for the majority of the summer. I haven't actually sent them videos of me running over the beach on my family holidays to scare them, but there is obviously a physicality to pre-season. There is at every football club, and we're no different. It is a psychology more than a physicality for me. It is, look, I'm not here to break players. I am here to try and push boundaries. I am here to try and get more out of the team. But we're also here to make them physically resilient. So it's not about, you know, so they come on day one and we're like, you know, breaking them, and then that isn't what we're trying to do. We're trying to make them physically resilient for a 10-month season. But a lot of that comes from mentality. A lot of that comes from, you know, for example, the last-minute goal at Port Vale isn't because we were physically fitter. We just mentally may be stronger. And you just need a group of mentally fierce competitors who are prepared to do anything to win. And that comes through pre-season. So there'll be, you know, when we go abroad pre-season camp, most of the work gets done there and a lot gets done here, obviously. When the running track's here, when the lads come in, they'll look forward to seeing that. But it's not about trying to break people, it's trying to build people. But, you know, if you've watched you need to watch on Netflix, by the way, the Tour de France thing, excellent. And you watch how hard they commit themselves to success. But I do look forward to pre-season. I do look forward to seeing the lads back. It's a little bit like my children coming back after school. Everyone's really excited to see each other on the first day for the first hour. And then once you start, then I become Darth Vader again, which I look forward to. But pre-season's a good time to build physical and mental and tactical. And that's what I like. I love pre-season camp because the lads can't go anywhere. They don't have to rush home to pick their kids up from school or go and sit on the PlayStation for 17 hours. They're like, we have them. So we train them first thing, we run, we work hard, we have meetings, we have fun. We have tactical meetings, we have meetings of where I think they should be as men. We have loads of things which I thoroughly love. And from that, hopefully you can build a squad and a team that are exciting to watch and can achieve something. So yeah, I love this time of year. It's the best time of year to be a manager. You haven't lost a game. No one's had a stinker. I haven't made a bad substitution. I haven't got bad tactics. I'm sitting here tranquille, thinking about my day ahead. But and I'm looking forward to welcoming the lads back. I've texted them all the time. I know where they are. I know what holidays they're on. They get quirky messages off me, no doubt. Yeah, and I look forward to building a real team together to have a real good go. And I thought we were ace in parts of our game last year, but we were just lacking. So, not that you've asked me, but it's you know, it's evident we need to sign another goalkeeper. We need to sign wing backs, stroke fullbacks. We need to sign centre halves. We need to sign attacking players, and we need to, if we lose anybody, which is possible, we need to fill them holes, which I think we're in really good places to do.
Good to catch up.
Thanks, mate.